But let's quickly move on now to our top story, which we are tracking, and that is the situation in Bengal. And today's been a particularly challenging day with doctors defying what the Supreme Court had said. Remember, the Supreme Court had said 5 p.m. please return to work. But the doctors say that no, our demands must be met first. The state government has been reaching out to the doctors, but for now, they continue to be on a strike or on a protest. The health situation perhaps being impacted, but where is justice for the rape murder victim?
Mamata government versus protesting doctors. A pitched battle with anger among junior doctors spilling onto the streets of Kolkata. Even defying the top court's deadline to rejoin work.
At 6:10 p.m., email was sent to them by the Principal Secretary Health requesting them to come, 10 of them, to come to Nabanno and to talk to the supreme authority of the state administration. Till 7:30, our Honorable Chief Minister had waited. But nothing came from the end of the agitating doctors.
वो चाहते हैं कि आप हम आए नवन्ना 10 लोगों को लेकर रिप्रेजेंटेटिव को लेकर आए और वहां पे उनके साथ मीटिंग करें, जबकि हमारी डिमांड्स क्लियर हैं और हम लोग 31 दिन से ये प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं. कॉमन लोग, साधारण लोग भी जानते हैं कि हमारी डिमांड क्या है. तो आप हम जब यहाँ पे बैठे हुए हैं तो आप हमें कहीं और क्यों बुला रहे हैं और 10 लोगों को क्यों बुला रहे हैं? यहाँ तो इतने मेडिकल कॉलेज के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव मौजूद हैं, आप प्रॉपरली कम्युनिकेट करिए हमारे साथ.
Slippers were shown to former principal of Arjikar Hospital Sandeep Ghosh as he was taken away into judicial custody till 23rd of September in the financial irregularities case that the CBI is investigating. A key demand of the protesting doctors is the removal of the Kolkata Police Commissioner, Health Secretary, Director of Health Services and the Director of Medical Education by 5 p.m. on Tuesday. The deadline given to them by the Supreme Court, no action so far has been taken.
जब तक हम लोगों का डिमांड जो है वो फुलफिल नहीं होता है तब तक हम लोग इधर ही बैठे रहेंगे. यहाँ पे हम लोगों का एक स्पेसिफिक डिमांड है और ये हम लोगों का जो मूवमेंट है उसका कुछ डिमांड है. अभी इधर हम लोग आए हैं DME, DHS और प्रिंसिपल हेल्थ सेक्रेटरी मिस्टर नारायण स्वरूप निगम, उनका हम लोग रेजिग्नेशन डिमांड कर रहे हैं. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इससे पहले भी जो बोला था कि वो डॉक्टर मूवमेंट के साथ हैं, वो चाहते हैं कि सारे जो अथॉरिटीज़ हैं स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को उन्होंने डायरेक्ट भी किया था कि डॉक्टर्स के साथ फॉर्मली बात किया जाए हम लोगों को डिमांड को लेकर, वो माना नहीं गया है.
After gifting a medical model of spine to the Kolkata Police Commissioner Vineet Goyal, protesting doctors now bring a model of a brain to Swasthya Bhavan. Remember, the Mamata government assured the Supreme Court no disciplinary action will be taken against the protesting junior doctors. The Arjikar Medical College has issued notices to 51 doctors, including senior residents and professors, who allegedly intimidated doctors on campus. They have to appear before a disciplinary committee and their access to the campus has been restricted. They are also being questioned for allegedly promoting a culture of intimidation and endangering the democratic atmosphere of the institution. The state's health department has claimed 23 patients have died due to the ongoing strike. One tragedy after another, the human cost of doctors abstaining from their duty is mounting. This time, a man from Haripal, Hooghly, lost his life after being denied the treatment he desperately needed. However, the protesting doctors strongly refute these allegations, asserting healthcare services have not collapsed as alleged by the state government.
For now, the state government wants to see if dialogue with the protesting doctors can get them back to work in respect of the Supreme Court orders. The state government has already emailed junior doctors asking them to come for discussions and end the standoff. Punitive measures, sources say, will be a last resort if everything fails and the junior doctors continue to defy the Supreme Court's orders to join work. With camera person G.D. Shankar in Kolkata, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
Well, joining us now, Anirban Banerjee, someone who supports the Trinamool Congress, Dr. Shotrupa of the BJP, Shikha Mukherjee, a senior journalist, Dr. Adish Basu, chair of the Protect the Warrior Senior Doctors Organization in Kolkata. I'm also joined by Dr. Swarnapalli Maiti, a protesting doctor in Kolkata. I'd like to thank you all very much for being with us. Dr. Maiti, let me come to you first. How long do you intend to continue your protest?
Till the demands are met, which the junior doctors are protesting over there. Actually, their demands are very clear. They want a safe and secure workspace, which is not there. Absolutely, it is not provided by the administration for so long. They were intimidated, and now they are out with their voice so clear that it is audible all over the world. There is no hide and seek here. There is no hush hush. They just want this demolishing of the seminar room was ordered by the DME, and the DHS also they have countersigned. So they want their explanation and their resignation. How can they destroy that scene of crime? This is another crime which has happened over there. And then DC Central, she came up with a photograph of a doctor and claiming that he is a fingerprint expert, but absolutely not. He was telling a lie. She was telling a lie. So Kolkata police has given wrong information, and that's why they went there to Lal Bazaar
Okay,
to
Dr. Maiti, just
show their
hold on
protest.
for one moment. But as I understand it, Dr. Basu, come in on this. There are several other demands other than just...
Yes. There are other demands also.
Yeah, one second. One sec, Dr.
Yes.
Maiti. I want to go across to Dr. Basu on this. The other demands is the removal of the police commissioner, the health secretary, the director of health services, the director of medical education. So those demands remain. Is that right?
Yes,
Let
the
me,
junior
Dr.
doctors.
Adish Basu. Yes, go ahead.
Yes.
So let me at the very outset, thank you for having me on the show. Let me at the very outset clear up this thing. This is not just about doctors' violence and violence of a doctor in the workplace, which is very common across the country, and not even in the country, in the whole world. But this is the first time that a on-duty doctor who happens to be a lady has been raped and murdered in a government hospital while she was on a 36-hour call duty. And this has happened within the premises of an emergency building of a working government hospital. Isn't the health department responsible for that? Isn't the health department responsible for providing security for a doctor who's working? I mean, this is beyond our imaginations. And now, once you dig deep into it, the first suspect that was apprehended by the Kolkata police happened to be a civic worker who are just certain members who are ad hoc appointed by the government, the state government, in order to provide some assistance to the police department. Now, can you imagine the audacity of a civic worker who's hardly class 8 passed to suddenly enter a government hospital, an emergency department, and simply go to the seminar room, find out a person who's on call, and then commit whatever he has committed? Is that something, if you have a modicum of intelligence, I mean, it's an insult to the intelligence of a doctor to understand, I mean, to accept that this kind of a horrific offense can be committed inside a working hospital.
Right.
And then a massive cover-up following this incident, starting with calling this a suicide, followed by cover-up in terms of performing the autopsy against all regulations and notifications of the central government. I mean, if you are if you have a facility for storing and preserving a body so that you can do it when there are better experts, external experts. I mean, if you have something that is going wrong with your home, it's always better to have an external opinion, to have somebody from AIMS fly in, somebody from anywhere else fly in, and then give the opinion. Let that be a fair and a proper investigation.
Okay.
Why be in a hurry? Do it beyond the time that it was supposed to be done, and then hurriedly bury up the body, and then offer the patients, I mean the victim's parents, money to just just take the money as compensation, as if it's just another incident that has
bear with
happened.
me for a moment. I'll come back to that point. Shikha Mukherjee, in the Supreme Court yesterday, lawyers representing the state government said that 23 people may have lost their lives as a result of the absence of doctors. Do you see on the ground this strike having a real continued impact on health services in Kolkata and elsewhere?
Vishnu, first and foremost, this kind of debate on whether 23 people died or not because the doctors were not there is, you know what happens with medical malpractice cases. It goes on forever, and yet no doctor is actually ever going to admit that they are in the wrong. So having said that, do I think that medical services are impacted? Yes, I do. I have every reason to believe, partly from anecdotal evidence and partly because it's common sense, that if the junior doctors are part of a structure of the healthcare system, then their absence certainly does impact the quality of service that is available in the hospitals. It is like saying that the interns are not part of the system. How is that possible?
No, but Shikhati, then therefore the question is...
Please, Vishnu, let me finish. Because if a large body of people are missing from where they're supposed to be, regardless of how many senior doctors are working round the clock, the quality of service is impacted. This is common sense. It is not for nothing that the Supreme Court asked them to rejoin work.
No, but so therefore, what is the way out? I understand the need for justice and the horrific murder that is being looked at. But at what stage do doctors need to get back to work?
They have to get back to work, as the Supreme Court has said. They should have got back to work today.
Dr. Basu, would you like to reply to that? This isn't in any way taking away from the investigation.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to reply to that. Madam, let me inform you that there are 245 government hospitals in the state of West Bengal, and only 26 of them are medical colleges. There are 93,000 registered allopathic doctors. I'm sorry I'm using this word allopathic. It's a modern medicine doctors. Out of them, only 7,500, a meager 8%, are in training junior doctors. You have provided, I was shocked and dismayed to see that the senior counsel for the state presenting that 23 deaths have been reported. And we have, what is the source? The source is the media. I mean, come on. There are specific health management software that are in place in the health department in every hospital. They know how many patients are being admitted, how many patients are being seen, how many operation theaters are being conducted every day. I mean, imagine 92% of the doctors working overtime. And as a matter of fact, I am at the protest site. I've just come in for this interview. There are people on the road who were telling me in Bengali that we are now receiving much better treatment because there are senior doctors all the time available in the emergencies.
No, but
the doctors are so scared to go back to a place where their own colleagues have murdered someone.
Dr. Basu, how many doctors are still protesting?
It's a threat syndicate that operates inside RG-Cor. These are syndicated, networked people who call themselves doctor. I'm ashamed to call myself a doctor. They are called doctors. And these are the people who are creating a nexus.
I understand that. I take that point. But Dr. Basu, I'm trying to understand how many doctors are now protesting still. How many doctors are protesting at the site?
I'm sorry?
How many doctors are protesting still?
See, all the in-training doctors who are present in the government medical colleges are under threat of this particular nexus of people.
Sir, can you give me a number?
Analyzing them. And therefore, yes, of course, I'm coming to that. And therefore, it is extremely difficult for it might be n number of people who are right now protesting. There are thousands who are protesting.
All right. So there are thousands of doctors protesting. And Dr. Basu,
it's a small proportion of the people who
are Dr. Basu, one second. I understand the larger issue. Please don't misunderstand me, but I'm asking you a pointed question. There are thousands, in your own words, of doctors who continue to protest. There is the basic issue of healthcare services in a state which you know better than anybody else needs healthcare services. The government is now willing to engage in talks with you. When will doctors get back to work?
let me be very clear. If there has been a murder and a rape inside a hospital on a doctor, and the suspicion is that the government and the administration is trying to cover it up because of the presence of the miscreants within the workforce, within the healthcare workforce, then how do you expect putting a guard outside the hospital, saying that you have installed CCTV, saying that you have had some people breaking some washrooms and making extra washrooms, going to make them safe?
Okay,
to
let me
return
get a
to work
response to that.
so that they get affected. And
Anirban Banerjee, the point that Dr. Basu makes is that, look, these protests are happening because it's still not safe for them to return to work. How would you respond?
Okay, so Dr. Basu is actually indicating towards the presence of some people within the doctors' fraternity who might have been involved in the heinous crime and who still might affect or endanger the lives of others. If that is what he is indicating, then for me, the practical solution is that the agitating doctors come out with a list of those names, specify them, point the
You go ahead. We've lost that line. We'll come back to him in just a moment. That's an important point that he was making. Dr. Shatrupa, will you look at it from a non-political standpoint? There are those who say, in fact, Shekhadi on this program points out that anecdotally and otherwise, and using common sense, it's obvious that healthcare services in a state like Bengal, which needs healthcare services so desperately, it's being impacted. In as much as we want justice in this case and safety of our doctors, how long can a state like Bengal allow something like this to keep going on before it starts impacting perhaps many more lives?
Vishnu, I agree that the medical system here has been impacted, but the junior doctors who are protesting now, they are not the only ones to be blamed. For 13 years, we've had a health minister continuously who did nothing for the health department except paint the walls and the gates blue and white. Now, just let me list out a few points.
Yes.
These doctors who are right now being shown on the screen, they have been agitating for a long time. We completely understand their pain and anguish, and I admire the self-control, the incredible, the restraint that they have shown. They've been completely non-violent, and the subtle humor. You must be understanding the Bengali slogans and gifting a spine and now a brain. They're all doing it in a very right spirit, but you cannot, under any circumstances, disobey a Supreme Court order. Supreme Court is whatever Supreme Court has said, one has to obey. As a citizen of India,
Yes.
whether you like it or not, you have to obey. But one also has to understand that the junior doctors may have been away from work, but nowhere has there been a disruption in medical facilities. They have been covered by senior doctors. And right now, in fact, for the last few days, I've even seen many of the junior doctors have opened camps and they've made prescriptions on which they have printed justice for Abhaya,
No, but
and
surely
treatment.
operating in hospitals where they belong is preferable to that solution. But
no,
let me just...
but then see, that is their perspective. But all I can say is maybe they should now try
I think that's the key point, Dr. Shatrupa.
with a black band or some kind of a protest.
I think that's an important point. In fact, Dr. Maiti, would you like to respond to that? There is the Supreme Court of India requesting you to end the protest. Why are you defying the Supreme Court? This is something which is being heard by the Chief Justice of India. There will be many hearings. How long can you continue with this?
The Chief Justice, he has said clearly that the state government has to take some action once, if the doctors do not come back within 5 p.m., then the state government can take action. We have already, the junior doctors have clearly said their intention, what they want yesterday night with their press meet. Now, hours have passed. Now, after 5 p.m., the Chief Minister's office has come up with a mail with discussion. So what we expected is a more sensitive and sensible approach from the administration itself. From the beginning, they have actually the health ministry, the police, and the chair from the chief minister, who herself is a woman. Our president is a woman. They have dealt with this case like what not to be done in such a case. So
then
this
what is the way
where
out?
we are agreed.
Dr.
This
Maiti,
is
what
where
is the
we are
way
in
out?
pain.
We understand that there have been huge
Yes.
mistakes and there is a criminal
Yes.
investigation at
This is
multiple
what we
levels
are trying
taking
to
place.
point out.
Right. So
Every
what is
time
the
we
way
are trying
out?
to
In
point
your
out.
opinion, what is the way out? Is it sacking
sir.
the police commissioner and the health officials?
The junior doctors who are there, they are asking for a open discussion with the chief minister. It should not be a closed door. They want the chief minister to come there and talk to all of them.
All right. Okay.
I
So
think
let me take that to Anirban.
this is their demand. This is their
Anirban,
demand over
is
there.
that a key request that Mamata Banerjee, who is very much a mass leader, she does go out and meet people, can accept that
Yes.
just face-to-face meet the doctors, listen to their demands and put an end to this? Is that not
See,
a
in
reasonable way forward? Anirban.
In 2019, there was a protest at NRS Hospital of the junior doctors. Even then, a meeting was held between the doctors and the chief minister. It was done. It was held at Navan, but it was televised live. All media channels covered it. It was not a closed-door meeting. Therefore, a demand for an open meeting which everybody can watch and hear. That I don't think that is a very illogical demand. That has been done before in 2019. That can be done again this time, but the chief minister has to come to this place or that place. I don't think that is a very logical demand in the sense that but you understand actually. See, there is a conference room at Novanno. If the delegation of the agitating doctors go there, I don't think they're going to lose any prestige on their part. If they don't turn this into an ego fight, it will be better for everyone, I guess.
No, and Anirban, for the moment, the strategy of the state government, you believe, will continue. Keep reaching out to the doctors. Don't precipitate this situation because, quite frankly, you can't exacerbate this crisis any further, right? But for the moment, you can't force these doctors back to work either, right?
Nobody wants to force anybody into anything. See, the demands of the doctors are legitimate as far as what they have submitted before the Honorable Supreme Court. The demands of resignations of the Commissioner of Police or the Health Secretary, etc., etc. When the Chief Justice yesterday during the hearing inquired about what are your conditions to the Council of the Doctors, the junior doctors, what are your conditions to get back to work, they did not mention, or the Council did not mention, the point of demand of resignation of this person or that person. So they are saying that these are our demands in front of the media. The version is one, and in front of the Supreme Court, the version is different. So therefore, they also will have to be very honest about what they're exactly demanding. Let them place the exact list of demands before the Supreme Court as they are doing in front of the media.
Dr. Shatrupa?
I think they have, I think Anirban must have missed the point. The junior doctors have been constantly making a list. He even asked for names of the people who they feel threatened with. They have made a very clear list and they want these XYZ people removed from the medical services. But I think I have to point out here that what Sharnopali was saying, the junior doctors have been, I mean, like the rest of Kolkata, we are aghast that in this kind of a situation, the chief minister can say enough is enough, now return to festivities. I mean, this is something that has hurt the sentiments, rankled a lot of nerves. And in this kind of a situation where junior doctors are sitting on the road for 22 hours just trying to meet the commissioner of police. Now, another thing that I have to point out here is that it's no point blaming junior doctors when, in addition to Dr. Adish Basu, these doctors have received threat calls on the phone, which are now on circulation. They have already been, given many of them have been given transfer orders, written transfer orders. They have been already threatened with punitive measures. This is height of insensitivity.
All right.
We are completely, from BJP, I can say, we are completely in understanding, in empathy with the junior doctors. But at the same time, because of Supreme Court's order, we would like to request them very humbly, get back to work and continue the protest. There are various
All right,
other
Dr.
ways to
Shatrupa,
protest.
let's leave it at that this evening. I know, Dr. Basu, we'll have you back. We'll have you back up again on our subsequent programs. I need to leave it at that. Hopefully, a solution can be found to get all of these doctors back in the hospitals, in their chambers. It's so very important for that to happen. But of course, justice and security, perhaps the most important of all. Thank you all very much for being with us.